Hey guys, welcome to another GTA 5 Carvey Car episode 2 of the Vapid Guardian going against the Vapid Sandking XL. My apologies for the delay for this particular episode of the series. I'll be bringing out the other episodes as soon as possible, but this one in particular, of course, comparing to off-roads, try to get that more involved as well, along with the general side of things on-road. So like the lap testing as well. Shit, man. So yeah, back on track with this. As you can see, you can consider the prices in the top between the two. 375k for the Guardian and 45k for the Sandking XL. Taking that into consideration when talking about all of this, obviously starting off with the handling, the Sandking XL actually got a lot of traction, but it's got a heavy understeer, and it feels extremely heavy around this corner, so you sort of have to drag the extra weight. But it's quite firm though. However, the turning circle is not there as opposed to the Guardian. It's completely opposite. The Guardian tends to oversteer a little bit more, but becomes predictable, where it's all about just the braking points. You can pretty much just throw this around every single corner and carry a lot of speed due to its responsiveness and immense turning circle. Even at high speeds, this thing just responds left, right on the straight. Try it for yourselves. It feels extremely light and comfortable with that immense freedom that it provides over the Sandking, where that thing is quite fat, overweight, and just doesn't really want to respond, you know, which is quite heavy over corners. Understeer is so real, so that's why the Guardian gets the point for handling. Now, for acceleration, on the other hand, due to Sandking having that immense traction, it just shoots off the line, and then because of the Guardian being extremely light and of course slightly better on that performance side of things, being able to carry more speed obviously makes sense, because this thing just produces a lot of speed off the straight, and it's got that momentum as well along with its top speed. So generally speaking, you can sort of get a perspective over what these two would get for lap times as well. But I know these are obviously mainly considered for off-roads and not really for these sort of street racing type of thing. That's why I try to incorporate a little bit of off-road testing as well, which you guys will see in a bit quite shortly. But pay attention to the exhaust on the Guardian. It's on the top, and there's a reason for that. It's quite interesting. Obviously Sandking's on the bottom, but generally speaking, Guardian's got more torque, so that means it generates more power uphill. We've got to take that into consideration. But of course, customization, there's hardly anything available there. However, it does look a bit customized itself to come in default in stock anyway, which certain parts which Sandking will provide quite similar to it as well. But generally speaking, Sandking will take it with 13 parts in total. But the general lap time here, is taking everything into consideration. Obviously, the maneuverability of the Guardian much greater than the Sandking, where the Sandking is quite restricted on these corners, where it's all about braking, but obviously efficiency is there to take the corner. But you get that heavy understeer, so you can't get the speed carry, whereas the Guardian's complete opposite. It does everything that the Sandking can't. So even uphill here, you know, the Guardian will take it about a few milliseconds as well. Just it pulls so quick, the immense speed, whereas Sandking, it just feels like a slug on these uphill section, obviously given its weight. But it's you know, the turning circle there also makes the Guardian so comfortable to, even at these great immense speeds, to just floor it around this right hand here. Usually with every other car, you know, you have to sort of brake there, but this you can just floor it. And obviously, given generally speaking, both of these are slow as opposed to other vehicles in the game, but the Guardian's pretty damn quick though. It's a really good addition to the Vapid side anyway, for the Vapid manufacturers of off-road vehicles. So on this downhill section, the Guardian seems to fly, obviously given its turning circle and the responsiveness. So there's a little bit of throttle involved with the Sandking to make sure you straighten up, obviously, otherwise the understeer will just ruin you completely. And obviously it does feel a little bit long as well, with Sandking slightly longer, ever so slightly longer than the Guardian, almost as if, you know, you're riding a bus. You know, the Sandking feels just like a bus. It just wants to topple over at certain points, given its weight. But it's crazy that, you know, the price difference is insane between the two. Same manufacturer, but obviously the 375k for Guardian, 45k for Sandking. You know, you still have to have that thought in your head, like, which one would you rather have? You know, would you go for performance, or would you go for specifically off-road, which we'll find out pretty soon anyway. But 144 for the Guardian, 147 for the Sandking. You see a few seconds there apart, but this is what I'm sure most of you came for, the off-road comparison. So you can see I've got a list of different specifics that we're going to cover with the off-road section, giving a point for each one, and then at the end we'll sort of total it up and give an overall point for the main tally chart for the off-road anyway, between the two, which one's is the king of off-road, as you could say. So weighting depth, basically which of the two actually is sort of good under these conditions and how long it would last for. Turns out Guardian was sort of designed for that for those conditions anyway. And obviously because of his exhaust designs. I'm not sure how much detail Rockstar went into that one, but that's quite interesting actually. And that's the one that makes the most sense, given that, you know, the Sand King actually got great acceleration. So, you know, that to me was the only explanation. Uphill also, you can see the Guardian seems to dominate quite well with its torque. So, you know, that power, and it's quite light, so it can easily climb these steep hills given the short distance without extra speed or momentum, just a standstill point between the two. And this seems to dominate most. Basically, Kano and me side by side, just really testing out, giving our thoughts on it with this general overview. But definitely for durability, as you can see, Sand King hardly loses any body parts, hardly takes any damage. However, the Guardian does, on the other hand. And also for the stability as well, given these sections, these, you know, extreme conditions with a lot of rocks and whatnot, definitely the Sand King, because look at that, you can get easily stuck with the Guardian. The Sand King himself will have to help you out. Now for maneuvering, on the other hand, because the Sand King's quite heavy, you know, to go around these little tricky situations quickly as possible, given the response of the Guardian, certainly will take it, easily maneuvers through these sections. But the thing is, obviously stability is not there. And that's what sort of what you have to lose out with the Guardian, I guess, because you can take risks and you can go for these tricky sections really quickly. But due to its ground clearance, it sort of does make it awkward. It's not that great compared to the Sand King. The Sand King got slightly bigger ground clearance, or greater ground clearance, so that is quite comfortable over little bumps and tricky bits. It's just obviously it doesn't really generate the power over the Guardian, but it's still quite efficient and comfortable over those situations. So you wouldn't really topple over. You can really control the Sand King with its weight, and it really sticks due to its traction and grip. So, you know, generally speaking, as you can see, pretty much the Sand King will take it for off-road. It will still be the king, and you can pretty much see there the sheer dominance and the strength of that. But overall, given the performance and off-road, you know, the Guardian's not too bad. You know, came pretty close at certain points. It just definitely comes down to how you like it. If you want to take risks, go on a jolly ride, and, you know, risk the whole sort of potential of exploding with the Guardian with this horrible durability, or you can go venture off in the Sand King. Quite slow, I guess, compared to the Guardian, but it's quite efficient. You can really get to locations without the risk of completely toppling over and screwing up, I guess. So yeah, it's up to you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Guardian takes it for performance, Sand King takes it for off-roading. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Show you sign out. Good night, peace. Yeah. Oh, you guys, if you guys missed out the previous episode, check out Korean Kuruma going against his brother Korean Sultan. The new edition of Kuruma makes the Sultan a little bit doubtful with its rivalry there. So check it out. I'll see you guys there. Annotation on screen.